First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming this evening. I know time is precious. But I just want to say one thing. My name is Julie, and most of you know me from church. If you don't, my name is Julie Leibold. I've been a registered nurse for quite a while, and also took my faith community nurse diploma so I could teach in churches and actually teach people about health and wellness. A passion of mine being a nurse, of course, but I see so much disease, so much suffering, and I don't know if we can prevent it all, but we can certainly try. So each time I have cried out to the Lord and said, what's my purpose? Where are my gifts? What do you need from me? He has come back in my mind and said, heal my people. And that's a huge responsibility that I don't know if I can do. And then I was told your efforts have not gone unnoticed, meaning don't be despondent, don't be in despair. Go ahead and do what you know to do, and to whom much is given, much is required. So I feel like I've learned a lot of information over the years, and my goal now is to share it with whomever will listen. It may change lives, it may not. That is up to you. I can't do it for someone. You're not accountable to me. The most important person in the room is you, because, like I say, I can't make someone make changes. All I can do is offer up information that I've come across, that I've learned, that I'm willing to share. So today we're going to talk about loving your heart. It's Heart Health Month, which is every February, Valentine's Day, as we all know. So I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, share my table. This first part of the table here is looking at heart health. And on the table are some supplementations for heart health, if you want to go that route. Lifestyle and diet is crucial to heart health. Not smoking tobacco, if you do that. And I'm going to share some of that as we go on. The other table over there is more about an upcoming event on weight loss. And it's kind of comical. I've been saying healthy weight management for a while, and now some of the TV ads are coming up with the healthy part for weight management, which they've just called it weight loss before, but really it is. I've gained a significant amount of weight over the years. So what we're going to talk about in the weight class is insulin resistance, how to eat foods that don't raise your blood sugar, and all of this is connected. There's no fences in the body. So everything is kind of connected, so what's going to one part of the body is going to another part. And that's another class I can teach on Your Body's Talking, Are You Listening? And these are done through some naturopaths that I've trained with. And they have put together materials that I'm going to use going forward to try and help maybe transform our community, our churches, our groups. Anybody who wants a healthcare or a self-care transformation, then hopefully I can help navigate that in the knowledge I have, and together we can reach those goals. So over there is some different information about walking. We can all come up with excuses of why we don't do the things that we think we should. A lot of people say, I can't afford to exercise, I can't afford a gym membership. Well, you can walk. Walking on the spot, and stepping out, you'll get up a sweat. So there are some CDs up here on walking, which I might present at another time. I also want to point out to this charity here, Give Back Hope. We all say we want to do things for the community and help other people that are in need. And this little charity here, which is run out of an office here on 23rd Street in Independence, works with some children in a group home in Malawi. So I have some flyers there for them. Purchasing anything through them makes money for the charity, so that's another way for us to give back and to share what's on our heart to serve God's people. And actually, I put this shirt on today. I was looking for something red, and I come up with this shirt, and because of my weight gain, I guess, it doesn't fit that well, but actually, as I told you before, I'm British, I'm from Wales, and this little 3 feathers here is the Prince of Wales feathers, and underneath it says, I serve, which is, I think, what everybody's committed to, is to serving each other. So I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation. It'll take about 20 minutes, maybe. Might stop on the way and look at different things. If not, we're going to go straight through and have questions at the end. So you only have one heart. Don't break it. So take care of yourselves is basically what this is about today. Love your heart. It's time to love yourself and love your heart. And A lot of times we don't feel worthy of many things. We have an issue with worthiness. We are worthy to be loved, to be cared for. And we are worthy to take care of ourselves and to feel that worth coming from a much higher power that we all know about. So love your heart. So February is National Heart Month. Not only do we celebrate our loved ones with candy hearts, decadent chocolates, and mushy love notes, which I'm sure we've all done Valentine's Day, but it's also the time of year to think about your heart health. The heart is a powerful muscle whose primary function is to pump blood to all parts of the body, delivering nutrients and oxygen to our organs and tissues. In an average day, the heart will beat more than 100,000 times, and we're totally unaware. Sometimes we feel it pounding more than others, like mine is pounding right now. But generally speaking, we're unaware that our heart is pumping 100,000 times and pumping more than 4,300 gallons of blood throughout the entire body. So exercise and healthy eating habits play a major role in preventing heart disease. But let's look at some signs and symptoms and statistics first. Heart disease is the #1 cause of death. Every 30 seconds or less, an American will have a coronary event. Maybe the first event they've ever had, sudden death. Happened to my mom many years ago. Went to bed, went to sleep, never woke up. It was a sudden death. Every minute or less, an American will die from a coronary event. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death per the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control. The chance of developing coronary heart disease can be reduced by taking several steps to prevent and control factors that put people at greater risk. Today, we're going to explore some of those steps. Knowing the signs and symptoms of a coronary event is crucial to the most positive outcome after having a heart attack even. So do you know your signs and symptoms? What do you think would be a symptom of heart disease? Well, some heart attacks are sudden and intense. There's no warning. However, most heart attacks start slowly with mild pain or discomfort. You'll see people gripping at their chest and complaining they feel like there's an elephant sitting on their chest. The American Heart Association shares the following signs that can mean a heart attack is happening. Chest discomfort. Most heart attacks involve discomfort in the center of the chest that lasts more than a couple of minutes, or it might even go away and come back. A squeezing, a fullness, a pressure or a pain. Discomfort in other areas of the body, which can include pain and discomfort in one or both arms, the jaw, the back, the neck, or the stomach even. Shortness of breath, just not being able to catch your breath. This may occur with or without chest discomfort. Cold sweat, nausea, lightheadedness. When combined with the above warning signs, these could be important signals that you're experiencing a coronary event. For women, sometimes it's not necessarily in the chest. It could be in the back or the arm. So 7 steps to a healthy heart. Be spiritually active and reduce stress. It can have a huge impact on your physical and emotional health. Remember, laughter is good medicine. We just don't laugh enough anymore. We're all too serious. You know, I used to love being with my younger brother over in Britain because we'd always crack up laughing over silly stuff. And we just don't laugh enough. It stirs up the blood, expands the chest, electrifies the nerves, and clears away the cobwebs. Take charge of your blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against the walls of your blood vessels. As the heart pumps blood to all parts of the body, it creates this force in your arteries and other blood vessels. If the force is too strong, or if your blood vessels are constricted or narrowed, you have high blood pressure. I did bring my blood pressure cuff if anybody wanted to see what their blood pressure was today. Hypertension, as it's known, or high blood pressure, is known as the silent killer. Now, the American Heart Association and all heart associations, doctors, cardiologists, we've come way down on what's normal. I think we're down to like 120/60 for our blood pressure. So there's not much room anymore to go any lower. Controlling your cholesterol. That's a waxy-like, fat-like substance that is naturally produced and stored in the liver. It's in most of our cells and everywhere the blood flows. Like I say, the blood flows everywhere, so there's no fences in the body. Everything's going round and round. It is needed for the body to function normally, but you only need a small amount in your bloodstream. If you have too much blood cholesterol, it is stored in the arteries and narrows and clogs them, resulting in heart disease. Track your blood sugar. When we get to the class on weight management, I'm going to be looking at insulin resistance, not so much tracking your blood sugar, but looking at the foods we eat that raise blood sugar. Most of us eat way too many carbs, myself included, and that is devastating to the body. So we eventually get to the point where when we eat healthy foods like chicken and broccoli, the body can't recognize that because we've damaged those sensors in the body that let us know when everything is needs to be stopped. Like if your stomach growls, telling you you're hungry, but there are also hormones that tell you you're full. And when we've overeaten and damaged our bodies to that point, even eating good food like broccoli and chicken, your body doesn't know what to do. So we get into this insulin resistance. So here on February 27th at 6:30, I will be teaching a class on breaking the weight gain cycle and addressing insulin resistance. The class will just be an overview because that's like a 12-week program, which I'm quite willing to teach if there's enough interest. And those items are on this table, the furthest table here, if anybody wants to take a look. Also on there, I have some detox information about detoxing the body before you start. Skin brushing, that's a good way in front of the TV. We all sit there at night sometimes watching TV, and you could be skin brushing, getting rid of toxins, drinking plenty of fluids to let those flow out of the system. So diabetes is the disease where the body has trouble making or using insulin. Too much sugar builds up in the blood. This is very bad for the heart, kidneys, and other organs. Diabetes is a leading cause of heart attack, stroke, and other serious health problems. This little booklet is the one, I don't know if you can all see this, but this is the one that I used to put some of this information together, 7 Steps to a Healthy Heart. And that's basically looking at African Americans, and unfortunately they have a much higher incidence of disease than the white population. So their attention to tracking what they eat is crucial for them. I think they have a 97% incidence of stroke and heart attack, which is pretty high. So eat smart and enjoy regular exercise. A lot of us sometimes think exercise is walking to our car or maybe vacuuming the house. No, you really have to push your heart. You really need to get your heart rate up. If my husband was here right now, Gary, he would tell you, get moving. Eating smart is not just about living longer, it's about feeling good. There are many delicious options now. You can go on the internet and find pretty much anything you're looking for, good or bad. So much to choose from. Be creative, it's fun and it's healthier. Smart eating can help you avoid having a heart attack or a stroke, diabetes or high blood pressure. Really, it's all about knowledge and accountability. Like I say, I can't do it for people. I may be able to hold you accountable in a class, but technically you're on your own. This is your commitment to you. And in the past, we've filled out commitment forms where people would make a commitment to themselves. To me, if it's not right up here, it isn't happening. And that's just a behavior modification stance where we have been controlled by our habits. This little book was written by a Christian foundation, and it's called Bondage Broken. And it actually talks about us being double-minded, serving 2 masters, which I think for all of us we could agree. We probably serve 2 masters in this world. And that's sometimes at the cost of our own health when we do things like that. So I can't do it for you. You're not accountable to me, but to yourself. So the most important person in this room, again, is you. Eating smart is about not eating too much. In the upcoming event on healthy weight management, I'll be sharing ways to eat and not raise blood sugar. We'll be looking at a low glycemic index diet, which is very similar to the Mediterranean diet. This little book called The South Beach Diet was a great inspiration for me. I was traveling home to Britain, and I'd picked up this book at the dollar store for $1. And it really goes through all the heart health situations, triglycerides, your low cholesterol, high cholesterol. And unfortunately, though, when I got to the end of this book, it talked about everybody needed to be on a statin drug, which really upset me, because I don't think that's a thing that we all have to go to. I'll be sharing about cleansing and detoxification. I will be sharing about the ratio of omega-3 fatty acids and omega-6s. Our ratios are way off. Good fats and bad fats, and so much more. And also, you cannot exercise yourself out of a bad diet either. I will cover exercise and a walking program that most people can do. So a lot of people, they have their New Year's resolution, they have their goals, and they talk about, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. Gary, again, if he was here, my husband would say, the gym was flooded the first month of this year. And then you see that slow decline where people are not coming as often, and then it tapers off. Because people are pumped with their New Year's resolution. They're going to go ahead and get healthy, and they get on a machine and they work out, and then they go straight next door maybe to the gas station and pick up some snacks. So, you can't have it both ways. It doesn't work that way. So you cannot exercise yourself out of a bad diet. It's like putting bad gas in your car and then expecting it to run at its optimal level. It won't. Don't use tobacco. There are many resources available now to stop using tobacco. Some of our public health departments actually have cessation programs that are free because they know how devastating it is on the body to use tobacco. Is it easy? No. It's a true commitment. No different than wanting to reduce your sugar intake. And I've said before, I'm a sugar addict. It runs the heroin pathway in the body. It is addictive, and it's very hard to stop. I have seen me travel across Independence to find a particular candy I want. How stupid is that? How foolish when I'm talking about heart health and about my own weight gain. Really not a good choice. But it's not easy to do by yourself either, and that's why I think coming together as a group, as a community even, to learn what you need to know and to streamline it in a way that it makes sense to people. We can all go on the internet and look at thousands of documents on weight loss. I think every other ad on the TV this week has been 4 or 5 different weight loss programs, Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig. I think there's now one called NextMed, Golo. It's all out there, but which one do you choose? Which one is right for you? So I think you have to be in tune with your body, and even if you're a prayerful person, pray about it and ask, which one should I look at? Which one talks to me? The one I'm going to share may not be the one for you, but it's one that I've worked with before and seen success. So any program you do will get success for a while, but you want it to be sustainable. You want it to be something that you can do long term, and it becomes a part of who you are. So just like getting up and cleaning your teeth in the morning, you get up and eat the right food. Doesn't mean to say you can't ever cheat or have something, but know who you are. I know if I buy a bag of candy, I'm going to eat the whole bag before the day's out. That's just who I am. My goal is to try and avoid buying the candy in the first place. Now, my sister-in-law can have candy in the house all day long, all week long, and not even eat one piece of candy. So there's something in my makeup that makes me go that way. Is it genetic? I don't know. It's just a bad behavior that needs to be broken. I'm in bondage to it, and it's affecting my health. So that may be the same for you, it may not, but just something to think about. So going back to tobacco, we kind of got off there. There'll be triggers. A lot of people enjoy the cup of coffee in the morning and a cigarette and lighting it, the whole mannerism of the actual event of smoking a cigarette or chewing tobacco. So there will be triggers. Emotions certainly will try to take you off course. I know for me, if I get upset over something, the first thing I want is chocolate. Makes me feel good, but it only makes me feel good in a short space of time, then I need more, which is not good for me. Knowing these ahead of time will plan your responses and keep you on track. Asking your doctor for a cessation plan or product may prove helpful. There may be a withdrawal phase. That's not pleasant, but it will pass. May be painful like a kidney stone, but it will pass. Have patience and remember the goal. Sometimes writing your goals out and having them and reading them every day kind of sets the stage for how you're going to be intentional throughout that day. But a lot of us are just running through life, trying to get to wherever we're supposed to go. And often our bodies suffer on the way. So have patience and remember the goal. Be prepared, keep yourself busy, and get a lot of support. And one of the things I teach in the weight class is preparation. But you say, well, I don't have time for this. I don't have to. Well, what is your body worth? What are you worth? What would happen if you had a heart attack? Not good. So access to better health care. You know, some of us are fearful about going to the doctor. Is anybody fearful about going to the doctor today? A lot of people don't feel like they're following the right protocols, that they're leading us astray, they're putting us on pharmaceuticals that are killing our bodies. So I understand a certain amount of fear, and I was in a class with Dr. Rita Stanley about 3 years ago, and she was talking about breast health. But before she got started, she cried. She stood in front of us and cried and said, "Please forgive me." We're all sitting there thinking, what do we need to forgive you for? She said, I put you on bad diets. I put you on medications that don't work, that have terrible side effects. I've done some pretty bad things in my 30 years of allopathic medicine. And she'd moved over to chronic disease management, and she was understanding now that there were other ways to heal the body, more natural ways, using different types of methods. So be informed. Find out what ails you. There are so many resources from public health, the internet, your local pharmacy, and clinics. I will often go to the pharmacist if I don't feel good and say, what can you suggest for me? I may have to go the route of taking something to get over whatever ails me. This week I've been sick. I've just rested a lot and drunk lots of fluids. But today I'm feeling much better. So your body is talking, are you listening, is another class I teach, and it's pretty intense. Some people in the room may have seen it, but it's done with a naturopath called Dr. Cheryl Duchess. I trained with her several years back. She had her own health issues. She only went to the bathroom twice a month to eliminate. So you can imagine all that stool caught up there in the body, just releasing toxins into the bloodstream. And a lot of us have what they call leaky gut, which is kind of a new term that most people don't know what it is. Even the doctors would tell you they don't really know what leaky gut is. But it's toxins seeping out of that built-up stool in the body that had nowhere to go. And you can imagine eating every day. We're supposed to potty 3 times a day. And actually it's supposed to be this round and this long, 3 times a day, if you eat 3 times a day. Not a good subject to talk about, but it's important that we eliminate. So Dr. Cheryl had her own health issues, and she studied and researched and became a naturopathic doctor so she could learn a more natural approach to heal her body. And in Your Body is Talking, Are You Listening? She shows a video swallow of food. Shows what happens to a piece of food when you masticate it and you chew it and it goes down into the esophagus, and what happens when it gets into the stomach, and all the juices that flow to make sure things are chewed up properly and absorbed properly into the body is fascinating. But not all of us can do this. We can't all become naturopathic doctors. But certainly we can learn from those that have gone before us, and we can sure stay informed as much as we can. My mantra has always been stay informed to stay well. There are so many new modalities out there now. We've got stem cell, which a lot of you know. People have gone to stem cell for issues with their bodies like bone and stiffness and different things. And now there's a stem cell patch that's out there that you can wear on your body that reduces you, actually puts your stem cells back to a younger age, makes you healthier. Fascinating. I mean, technology and research is moving so fast that it's hard to keep up. Take advantage of any medical benefits provided by your employer or any free programs available in the community. Don't give up. You are the most important person in your life. Stay up to date on current treatments. And I'm going to try as best I can with what I know to keep you up to date as much as I can. So the next part I'm going to talk about is don't miss a beat. Don't give up on yourself. Don't feel unworthy. Maintaining healthy cholesterol and triglyceride levels is important to the overall health of the cardiovascular system. High cholesterol levels can be dangerous. It is important to maintain healthy levels of cholesterol, the good and the bad, in the body. I don't have enough time to go through all the cholesterol issues, but certainly as I go through teaching more, we'll learn some more about that. Love your heart. It's called Love Your Heart at shop.com. That's the name of my business. Offers a great product for superior heart health. There's a product out there called Advanced Lipotrim Ultra. I have some up here if somebody wants to read the back of the box here and see what that does for the body. It's a cholesterol and triglyceride support formula. It's the one I would recommend. There are many, many supplements out there. There are many. If you go to natural grocers, you can walk aisles and aisles and aisles of supplements. And sometimes we don't know which one is right for us. I can only attest to the ones that I have learned about and that have been promoted by the 2 naturopaths that I've worked with. It's a powerful antioxidant that helps promote delivery of healthy levels of LDL throughout the body, promotes a normal rate of cholesterol production, helps maintain healthy levels of total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglyceride levels, and promotes the synthesis of triglycerides in the liver. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Unfortunately, I have to put that disclaimer in there, or we'd have problems. So what about less salt for a healthy heart? A lot of us have learned that eating too much salt and adding salt to our food is not good for our heart. But in the field of genetics, it may be good to know if limiting salt is good or not. A genetic profile is quite interesting. I did mine many years ago, and it showed a homocysteine level that was high. And what that meant for me was, it was a cardiac determinant in my genes, telling me that my homocysteine level was high, and that I was possibly going to be subject to heart disease. My mom died in her sleep at 84, had a massive heart attack and didn't wake up. And my dad died at 95, so they both had somewhat longevity, but my dad's carotid arteries were completely blocked. And so I'm at risk genetically for heart disease. It also showed a glutathione level that was low. This had some bearing on what happened to my body when I was eventually diagnosed with an autoimmune issue and subsequent health issues. Glutathione is an important antioxidant in the body. Epigenetic is a science that focuses on the processes that help direct when individual genes are turned on and off. So we can turn our genes on and off with lifestyle and diet. So this was a huge research back in the 90s, and it's continued on now. And there's so much in the genetic field, it's hard to keep up with it. There's a lot of information there. But they did show that lifestyle and diet can express those genes and when they turn on and off. It's fascinating. So lifestyle and diet changes are being shown in gene expression. So too much sodium can raise blood pressure and your risk of heart disease. Managing sodium intake can be an important part of a healthy diet. So getting your gene testing done, which costs about $500, I think, to get a good gene test done, it might tell you that you have to have salt, whereas other people limit salt. So even as we progress in research, we're finding that not everything is for everybody, is what I'm trying to point out there. But managing sodium intake can be an important part of a healthy diet. This is coming from American Heart Association at this point. Recommendations are that healthy adults have no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium, about a teaspoon of salt. So generally speaking, over the years, they have said limit your salt. So I would go ahead and do that unless you know otherwise. A teaspoon of salt doesn't sound like a lot. People aged 51 and older, African Americans, who have a documented higher incidence of heart disease, like I say, 97%, stroke and diabetes, and people with chronic kidney disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes, only 1,500 milligrams a day. Reducing the amount of salt you add to your food is a good step to take towards reducing the sodium in your diet. Try using herbs and spices. They really are our friend. When we do a detox, it's a 7-day detox on the weight program. People are like, oh, that's awful, that food is awful. But put your turmeric in there, put your garlic in there, put your curry powder in there. There's many, many ways to season food without using salt. They can be very helpful and really have some good health benefits. So we're coming now to how to eat for your sweetheart. Either your sweetheart, so you stay alive longer and you're around longer, or for your sweetheart. Fruits and vegetables. We all know we're supposed to be getting more fruits and vegetables in the diet. Eating a variety of fruits and vegetables ensures that you are taking in a wide variety of nutrients to protect against heart disease. Fruits and vegetables are high in vitamin C, which is really good. Beta-carotene, bioflavonoids, and phytochemicals, all of which are essential antioxidants in the prevention of heart disease. If you've ever heard of oxidative stress, it is stress that attacks the body, and antioxidants can help with that. If you were to take an apple and cut it in half and lay it on the table here today, eventually it would brown. It would turn brown. That's a form of oxidative stress. But if you took a lemon and pulled the lemon juice over the apple, it would take that brown oxidative stress away. And that's what antioxidants do. So when I say essential, what I mean is if something is essential, your body can't make it. So you have to take it. Omega-3 fatty acids, we've all learned about those. I have a couple of things up here that relate to them. Found to help triglyceride levels, the rate of atherosclerotic plaque and arrhythmias. When that plaque builds in your arteries and they clog, then you're potentially going to have a heart event. Triglycerides are the form in which fat is stored in your body's fat cells. Foods high in omega-3s are oily fish like herring, sardines, and anchovies, and smaller cold-water fish. And what about fiber? This is a really important issue. Fiber, soluble fiber, it helps to decrease cholesterol levels. Foods high in soluble fiber are oats, oat bran, pectin, psyllium, flax, lentils, legumes, apples, pears, and grapes. Something in there we could probably eat. Leave the skins on your apples. Leave the skins on your potatoes. Nuts are high in fiber, and vitamin E, magnesium, and essential fatty acids. So there's many things on there that we can look at to say, well, that's high in fiber, and fiber is really important for us. You need to drink plenty of water. If you're using things like psyllium, you can buy psyllium powder, but just make sure everything is flowing. Our body's a flow system. It has to flow. If it doesn't flow, it clogs. So we have to keep moving, and we have to keep flowing. Foods rich in folate also help to decrease the risk of heart disease by, again, helping to regulate those homocysteine levels that I was talking about there, that I'm high. Green leafy vegetables, orange juice, lentils, whole grains, and asparagus are some great resources. If you take statin drugs, like I say, when I read through this book here, and they talked about the World Health Organization wants all Americans or all people worldwide to be on a statin drug, it really bothered me, because statins can be awful for the body. If you take statin drugs to control cholesterol, you're probably reducing the level of coenzyme Q10 in the body. I have some over here in that little bottle on the end of the table there. It is virtually in every cell in the body, which is concentrated in the mitochondria. Heart cells are 5,000 mitochondria in each. So clinical studies suggest it can promote optimal heart function and normal blood pressure levels. It is produced naturally by the body, but declines as we age. So the older we get, the more decline, 30–40% as we get over 40 years old. So in summary, such a huge subject to discuss. Impossible to cover it all. So I didn't want to make it too long because all that information just gets lost. So here's a short summary on how to avoid sudden cardiac death. Exercise at least 30 minutes a day, most days of the week. If you can't do anything really energetic, or you can't get out to the gym, or you're limited, if you're grossly overweight and you're limited by what you can do, walk on the spot. You can work up a real good heart rate just stepping out. Maybe you'll kick out, I don't know, but you can really work up a good sweat, if you like. Having a body mass index of around 25, men and women differ, and there are different BMI scales and charts. Eating a Mediterranean-style diet, or a low glycemic, which is I'm promoting on this table here. Plenty of fruits and vegetables. And as I say, the upcoming Healthy Weight Management event will focus on the low glycemic index diet. Avoiding tobacco. These factors together could lower the risk of sudden cardiac death significantly. There are many resources on the internet about 7 steps to a healthy heart. So upcoming events, February the 27th at 6:30 here, I will do a brief overview of healthy weight management. That's a 12-week class that I've taught here before. So there's a lot of parts to it: behavior modification, exercise, detox. There's several things that you can do, and more to come on heart health. Those dates are to be determined. I'm looking at using Dr. Deidre Mason, who is a well-known naturopathic doctor. She's not from this area, but I know her quite well. And she has put together some videos on heart health. And I think it's interesting. If you're not sure where to go, what to do, listen to some of what she has to say. I'm hopefully going to present that here at Living Hope in the next couple of weeks or so we can stay on track with heart health. But it's all connected. Having a high blood sugar affects your heart. There's just, losing weight will affect your heart. Exercising will affect your heart. But we all have to do this in moderation to start. You don't want to go out and do something that could cause you more issues than you expected. So getting your mind in gear, getting your head around where you want to go, what you want to do. Like I say, there's so much information out there. It's hard to stay on track. So if anything I have here is of any interest to anybody, please talk with me once the class is over here. Let me share with you what I have and what I've known to work. And maybe together going forward we can do a self-care transformation. And I really appreciate your time today. Thank you.